What's going on, guys? Scopamart TV here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about dining out, the cost, and is it still good food? Meaning, if it's expensive, doesn't mean it's still good. Let's hear what people got to say.
So have you guys noticed in the last couple years, when you go to lunch with your family or friends, whatever, the food's just not any good anymore? I know there's an exception for that. Like some restaurants are still always good. But the majority of the time I go out with my friends or family, I'm so disappointed in the food now. Like massively disappointed. Like I cook better than that. And I like to cook, don't get me wrong.
I'm not even going to lie, man. Honestly, going out nowadays is a gamble. Literally, it's like rolling dice. You just don't know what you're going to get. I honestly like to read the reviews thoroughly before trying a restaurant these days, because trying to randomly go somewhere because the name sounds fancy, it's like taking your money, throw it in the garbage, and hoping that you find it again and it's not a complete loss. I'm just saying.
But sometimes even the cook doesn't want to cook. And you go out and you're like, I could have just done this so much better and just not spent so much money. I don't understand. I don't know if they've stopped using, it's so bland. It's just, there no spices, nothing. And it's not even cooked well.
Listen, when she says it's bland, it is no joke. The other day, about a couple months ago, I went to have brunch, right, in Boca Raton. Won't say the name of the restaurant. They did not have hot sauce for the breakfast. No hot sauce in the whole restaurant. They brought some tangy sauce out. The food was not seasoned. Bad tasting food. And I ended up spending a good amount of money for that horrible experience. Let's just say if I'm eating again out on the brunch tip, right? I'm going Miami side. Miami, they keep the spices in Miami. Anything north of Broward County, I'm not going to be eating there. That's all I'm saying, And what's disappointing even more is the fact that you'll go out and you order something like a salmon and you taste it and you're like, this is just salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. And you know for sure that you could season that thing up at your house, but what we're paying for these days, it's comfort. We're not paying for service. We're paying for comfort, for somebody to do the thing that we are lazy to do that day. Whenever we feel lazy to cook, we go out to eat. And what you're paying for, it is comfort. It is convenience. If it wasn't for that, you'll stay home and you'll make yourself a better meal.
Chicken, I usually get chicken. It's so much drier than the chicken that I cook. Whether I cook it in the crock pot, whether I grill it, whatever. It's not the same. It just doesn't taste good anymore. And I'd rather just save money. So maybe I'll just start saving money and always cooking. Jeez. So have you guys noticed in the last couple years?
So I'm not even going to disagree with her, because everything she said was spot on. No doubt. Going out nowadays to these places, man, you are gambling like crazy. And all you can do is just hope that you recoup, whatever food you buy, it's somewhat recoupable in the taste, in the taste selection, Let's hear what someone else got to say about this experience.
Hey, everybody.
Tonight I'm taking you to a restaurant where somebody almost got arrested because they didn't want to pay because it was so bad. But let's start from the beginning. This is Mugaritz, located in San Sebastian in the Basque region of Spain. We sat down and they seemed to be doing everything right. It's supposed to be an inventive restaurant. For example, to choose your wine, they tell you to pick a photo and tell them 3 words about yourself. But we could have never expected what was to come. The first dish came out.
Too much distraction. There's too much going on there. Too much going on. I don't need to be going out, picking a wine, telling you 3 things about you don't need to know me. I'm good. I just need to know the menu. Please bring me the food. Bring me the menu, please. This is nonsense.
I said no forks. I was excited to dive in, but when I did, I was essentially eating lip gloss. I mean, you can see the confusion on my face, right? This next dish threw us through a loop because this was actually good. A lovely piece of white asparagus and then a lily flower. Our wine came and things seemed to be getting a little bit better. This came out a sea rash, which was literally just like a soggy cigar. Like, how are you even supposed to eat this?
It's amazing what we pay for when we go out. Some of the times I go out to these restaurants, man, and you get a tiny piece of, some mozzarella sticks, or you'll get like a little small cup of steamed spinach, sauteed spinach. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Right? If it wasn't for the view, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm sitting on this patio area overlooking some water and some rich guy boat passing by, I really would not be going out. Because at the end of the day, what are we paying for? What exactly are we paying for if it is not good food, but the prices are so high?
It was a disgusting texture. Still wasn't totally sure what was going on, and maybe my palate was just off. So I turned to this book that they had on the table. Each person has one to write and I guess distract you from how bad the food is. And when I tell you I was pretty excited for this next thing to come out because I was like, oh wow, how interesting. This is a belly button that you are supposed to suck this weird juice out of. It's made with kefir.
That looks like hummus. I would have went for the chip and try to start dipping in that. It literally looks like hummus. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Kefir and almond oil, and you're not supposed to eat it. And we suck that out and then eat the thing on the side. This could have been good. Such a bummer. Now, I actually liked this dish, but I think I was just gaslighting myself into liking it because it does have blue cheese in it. They call it pasta azul. It was basically old bucatini pasta that was way too mushed. They rolled it with some type of fungi, basically blue cheese, and then cooked it, but it was hard. Everybody hated it except for me, so I ate 3 of them and then I felt kind of sick after.
Wow. So, I mean, you guys see what's going on, man. These restaurants nowadays, they're doing everything to mask the fact that their food ain't all that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. And people are catching on. A lot of people nowadays are doing cooking at home and enjoying their meal without having to spend crazy amount of money, tip crazy amount of tipping prices, or the valet, the tons of expenses you got to pay just to go out to enjoy food that is not enjoyable. That doesn't even sound right, but you get the drift. You're not enjoying the food like you do before. Back in the days, it's just not the same. The only way you'll get a nice restaurant is if you do some in-depth research, get some reference from friends. This is why word of mouth is very good nowadays, because the internet sells you an idea of what a restaurant is, but until somebody goes and try it, you really can't get the full scope of everything unless you read the reviews, for sure. Let's see what the people got to say in the comments. Somebody says, I love the concept, but this is too much. Someone else says, we went 2 years ago for my birthday and I told them to stop at a certain point because we didn't like most of the food either. Spinach and barbecue sauce might sound innocuous, but actually would be revolting. My texture issues could never. What's weird to me is that hummus looking thing, and it's not a hummus. It looks like it's some type of plastic, and she got to suck the sauce out of that. That would just throw me for a whole loop right there. Listen, restaurants need to do better. People are going out for the convenience, but at the same time, people need service. People need to make sure that they're getting their money's worth. Right? Some of these restaurant owners need to start eating their own food, tasting their own food, because obviously they are just there collecting the money until that business goes upside down and they move on to something else. Because if some of them people were eating what they were cooking, they wouldn't be serving it at all. There's no way you serve some of these food for that price point. Some of these restaurants are crazy expensive. For 2 people, you're looking at $250 to $300 if you order 2 cocktails with your meal. No doubt one cocktail sometimes is $25 depending on where you live. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same anymore where you go out, you enjoy a nice meal for $100, which is why, you see people online complaining about, oh, men are cheap. They need to take us to this place, to that place. Sometimes it's best to just stick with the place that serves the good food for the right amount of money. Because if you're going to go spend $500 at some of these restaurants and not getting a bang for your buck, it's disappointing. I really wouldn't be sleeping good at night knowing that. You know what I'm saying? But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that food quality has dropped, the service has dropped, and the prices went up? Do you guys think so? Hop in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, Scope Mar TV. I'm out.